Morning, everybody. Welcome to our live broadcast from Congregation Beth Yeshurun, where we get together for a lively Chumash Parsha discussion every Thursday morning at 9:30. And before we begin, we wanted to share with you way number 37 to maximizing life, which is paralleled with the 37th day of the counting of the Omer. So last night we counted the 37th day, and this 37th way is as follows. It's one of the most fundamental principles in Judaism and in life, and that is, don't be complacent. Not to be complacent. Now, it's an interesting idea. We've mentioned it in the past, but I think it's worthwhile quickly reviewing this. In the temple, there was a ramp that led up to the altar. And the question that our sages ask is, why do we need a ramp? We can have a nice circular staircase. And plus, if you look at the ramp went to the width of the temple. So there was not really a whole lot of room on the sides of it, because it took up the whole width of the temple till it got to the altar, which was pretty big. So why couldn't we find a more productive way? We could have done like a circular walking around, So aside for it being wheelchair accessible, the temple, but we know also the animals didn't have blemishes, right? So that wouldn't help them either. So the question is why? So our sages give us a couple of fantastic reasons to why we had the ramp instead of having stairs. So you go on vacation, you're going on your cruise, take a ball and place that ball on one of the stairs, secure it, okay? It's not going anywhere. You get to the door, you lock the door, you go on your cruise. You come back 2 weeks later. Where's the ball?
On the stair.
On the stair, exactly where you left it. Now what happens if you left it on a ramp? It would roll down. All right? That's the way a Jew is. A Jew is always on a ramp. He's a ball on a ramp. You can't stay in one place. You're either going up or you're going down. And it's such a fundamental principle. There's no such a concept as complacency in Judaism. You're either going up or you're going down. The second idea that we learned from the ramp is that on a staircase, it's pre-engineered. You go look at a new construction of a new home, they put a staircase in there, they have pre-designed stairs, right? It's exactly the same distance. Each step is, whatever it is, 11 inches or 9 inches, between, or 6.5 inches, but that's the way it is. It's exactly the same distance, it's pre-engineered. But in Judaism, we don't believe in pre-engineered growth. We don't believe that every person takes the same size step. There's someone who is a grown-up spiritually, they take a grown-up step. There's someone who is a child spiritually, they take a child-sized step. You can't, it's like, imagine you put a staircase, which is complete discrimination, by the way, right? You have a young little child, they have a difficult time getting their foot all the way up on that step. You take someone who's elderly, they have a difficult time taking that step. You take a teenager, it's not big enough. They jump up 4 steps at a time, right? So that's what happens when you have pre-engineered steps. But in Judaism, we don't believe in that. We believe that every person needs to take their own size step. So you always need to be in an upward incline, and you always need to take your own size step. There's no such thing, my neighbor's doing this, so I have to do this. My neighbor, are you ready for it? Right? Just because your neighbor it took a big step in their spiritual growth doesn't mean that you're ready for that same spiritual step. You got to take your own size step. So there's a lot to talk about in the topic of not to be complacent in Judaism or in anything in life. It's also think about your job. Don't be complacent in your job. Find the new challenge. Find a new way to become bigger and better, and not to give in to the comfortable way of life by, I have my job, and that's it, and no more challenges. Every time every time we have the opportunity, we should look for the challenge to excel and to become bigger and better. With that, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you join us live at the class with so many wonderful people here at Congregation Beth Yeshurun, 9:30 on Thursdays. Have a lovely day.